Well, good morning. Happy Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. I hope you're all doing all right. If you need IT consulting, remember to reach out at williehowe.com. Fill out the contact form, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. If you just want to talk, you want to bounce ideas off of us, you don't necessarily need consulting, but you need somebody to talk to about tech stuff or career stuff or whatever. Go to williehowe.com, fill out the form. We respond to each and every one that is not spam. How is everyone doing this morning? Let me know if you can hear me. You might be wondering what this is. I was hoping Joe would be stopping by because this is Crazy Aaron's Thinking Putty. My wife got me this a few years ago, and this is the lustrous bronze. And if you've never had Crazy Aaron's Thinking Putty, it does help you think. You can stretch it, and it will bounce. Or if you you can like snap it, and it'll. So I use this stuff a lot when I'm sitting here thinking, because you can't drink bourbon all the time, right? People think you have a problem. But like if I put it on the mic, you know, it's got the little dimples. It's pretty nifty. Yeah, it's kind of like silly putty, but this is not like it would take a lot of work, Cody, to get this into your carpet. So check it out. Just do a Google search for Crazy Aaron's Thinking Putty. They've even got magnetic putty. They've got glow in the dark. They've got all kinds of stuff. So let's take a second. Hey, Jeremy. He says, everything looks and sounds great. My beard, though. I haven't showered yet this morning. So my beard, I put a little beard wax in it to kind of tame it. And, look at that. Look at that receding hairline. Thank you, Mom. Right? So, let's go over to the comments, see who all is here. I hope you all got your, I am not a tax professional, but if you live in the United States and have to pay taxes, I hope you have a tax professional and you got your taxes paid last week. Good morning, JH. JH was here this morning. Morning, Aragon Strider. David, Cody, Gibby, Larry, TN Bighorn, Gina, SysTech 911, Cody. Again, good morning. Ferris, Michael, Julio, David, Gina, let's see, Jeremy again, Bob Carpenter in the house, Craig Mason, good morning. Morning, Dave Robertson, Brent Havens, good morning. Hamster MC, good morning. Yeah, Bob says that I can drink bourbon all the time and I'll end up stopping one way or another. Well, I do have to be productive. So when I drink bourbon, I don't drink that much. I drink just enough to enjoy the taste, get some tasting notes. And when I need a distraction and I'm sitting here thinking, talking to somebody on the phone, trying to figure out a problem, Thinking Putty is my other go-to. And it does actually help relieve stress. Good morning, Bruce McDonald. So, Hamster MC says, listening while setting up my new Starlink, 120 megabits down, 45 megabits up, 35 millisecond ping. That is fantastic. Yeah, I need to get back on the list so that I've got a backup. I was hoping there was another company that was coming down with fiber so I'd have two ISPs here, but I don't know how long that's going to take. So I need to get one as a backup as well. Good morning, Sean. All right, so believe it or not, here it is again. Is this the second or the third week in a row? So this week, I'm not going to accidentally flash information on the screen that you shouldn't see, where I have to take the live stream down, edit it out, and then re-upload it, which is what happened. Nobody pointed it out. Well, the people did point out that the video, like, it reappeared like halfway through the day. And that's because I had to make it private. And it's not like I didn't splash, like, customer stuff up there, but it's, you know, private websites and stuff. Nothing adult related, anything like that, but just things where I don't need people going and trying my usernames and passwords. So I'm not trying to beg any trouble. Good morning, Justin Kinsey. So yeah, I'm going to mow the grass today too. That sounds like fun, right? and my mom and her boyfriend are supposed to come over for dinner. And we're going to take down the chicken coop that we've got now. If you all have been with us for a little while, you know the chickens got taken out by the trash pandas. So we're going to do that. All kinds of fun stuff. All right, so to the official list, which is on the back of Friday, April 22nd's joke. No matter how kind you are, German children are kinder. I love that joke. Good morning, TVJ. Morning, Justin. All right, so we talked about the putty, the mistakes video. So I posted the everyone, we all make mistakes video. I posted it on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube. YouTube got the most traction because of the thumbnail. TikTok, I wanted people to stitch it, but because the thumbnail was just my face and not something interesting, it got real low views. So I'm thinking about taking it down, trying to change the thumbnail because I'm trying to get some of these stories and stuff like that. But we all make mistakes. Like I said, if anybody tells you that they don't make mistakes, they're lying. They're lying. They're suspect. All right. Let's see. TN Bighorn says the only bad thing about Starlink is it's not an addressable address. So what I believe TN Bighorn is talking about is they use CGNAT by default. We can show you how to defeat or conquer CGNAT if you need it. So reach out. I did hear that you can get a business class and you're going to be able to get an actual static IP, not a CGNAT, which usually starts with 100 or a 6 dot address, which is hilarious because I always tell people this when we're working on it, is if you get a CGNAT address and you do an IP whois, a lot of them come back for federal, like Department of Defense, FBI, things like that, who own the IPs. It's absolutely hilarious. And but you're supposed to be able to get now a static IP. So we'll see how that works out. However, I will tell you that Grandstream with Telnex, SIP works through CGNAT. We've had no problems. We've got 2 customers now, and CGNAT has not slowed. And how do I know, right? Because one customer has an AT&T LTE, no static IP, so it is CGNAT. And absolutely, it takes, so we've got an OpenSense router there, and we do the failover to the second WAN, and in testing, it takes about 10 seconds, but phone calls start flowing. And then we're using Zero Tier to initiate then the VPN between their offsite location with their backup for their Synology and the main site. Now, I do have one small problem that I'll be working on tomorrow, which is I need to adjust the MTU because the VPN comes up, but getting traffic to flow properly, you can get pings, right? So there's a special ping command where you can see what the maximum size is that'll sneak through there properly. So I just have to do that and then adjust the MTU on the VMs that are running the Zero Tier router. So, yeah, TN Bighorn, reach out. And Zero Tier is part of the solution as to how we get around CGNAT. So, David Anderson, if you're brave enough, Starlink could probably be mobile now. JH says, I don't really have to worry about CGNAT. I just bought a /22. So, yeah, let's talk about that. So you'll see like guys like Network Chuck, like they create these like videos talking about, how we're out of IPs and blah, blah, blah. We're not out of IPs. All the IPs have been spoken for, allocated. That doesn't mean you can't get them. JH right there says he just bought a /22. JH, if you don't mind, can you tell us what you paid per IP address for that? So I should do a full video on this, how to get your ASN, what that costs you, what your obligations are, and then how to go out to market and then buy IPs. Because a lot of people ask that question. I think that would make a great video. So you paid $77 per IP. Whew, they are getting high. Good morning, Albert. Greetings from the Netherlands. All right, so we talked about that. Let me ask you this. Who all's going to Vegas this year and in October? Who's going to Wispapalooza? I plan on making an appearance there. I'm going to hang out with Grandstream. So who else is going to be in Vegas? And JH says, the last time I got a /25, it was only $30 per. Yeah, I've seen IPs at auction start at $4 a piece. I haven't seen them hit 77 yet, but I've seen between that $4 and $30 range on IPs. And I'm thinking about just for this video, right? Get my ASN and then get, you know, like a /29 or something. Get something small so I'll have it and be able to take it anywhere I want. Zach says, is it self-hosted zero tier or you go through their network? Right now, Zach, we use Zero Tier's network for that. We don't have our own, I can't remember their language, right? So they're getting away from like the spine and the leaf and all that, and they created like their networking terms are like based on planets and solar systems and stuff like that. And we're not hosting our own, whatever they call that. But you definitely can. So no, it is using theirs. Prav says, hey, Willie, good morning. Zero Tier used to be in DSM-6, but not on DSM-7. They say running on Docker is better. Yeah, so we don't run our Zero Tier directly on the Synology. The way that we are doing it with this customer is their Synologies are beefy enough that we're running a small Ubuntu VM, and then we've enabled IP routing in the Ubuntu VM, and then we've got static routes, and it, you know, and the Ubuntu VMs connect to the Zero Tier network. It works absolutely flawlessly. Pro tip: if you do that, remember to set the VMs to power back on if for some reason the Synology gets powered off or reboots. Yeah. Also, the other thing that you're going to notice when you do this, and I'm giving away the farm here. The other thing you're going to notice is if your primary WAN goes down, that the Zero Tier is not going to automatically reconnect. So then what you do is you install, you run a little command, a sudo apt install watchdog, and you configure it. Then when watchdog, after you've configured it, can't ping the other side, it'll reboot the Ubuntu VM and automatically reestablish the Zero Tier network. Takes just a few seconds. So I am going to do an entire video on that. JH says the larger the network, the more per IP. I can see that. TN Bighorn says, I've got 12 IPs through Comcast, and with the internet, it runs me about $200 a month. Yeah, Comcast, you can get 5 IPs in Peoria, Illinois for $24.95. Ooh, something that's super interesting is we're working with a local provider, fiber provider, and I was actually really excited. The salesperson called me because I said I need a single static IP at each site. And if you go back through the videos, I did a video on the /31 subnet. And not all equipment supports the /31 subnet because and there's a special RFC just for the /31 subnet mask, CIDR mask, because it literally gives you 2 IPs. Well, normally you can't use the first or the last, right? You can't use the network ID or the broadcast. /31 is a special exception for WAN connections. And the ISP called me because they're getting the contracts ready. And they said, hey, do you need a /30 or can we do a /31? Now, we are managing our own routers. We're not letting them put their routers in. We're putting our routers in. Our routers support the /31 standard, and I was super excited about that. So we're doing /31s. So WireGuard does not work properly over Zero Tier, or WireGuard does not work properly over CGNAT all the time. But there's 2 VPNs that do work properly all the time. One is SSTP, which I should do a video on that because not a lot of people run that. I don't hear a lot of people running SSTP. And then Zero Tier. WireGuard, we've run into some issues with that. Also, has anybody been able to get Raspberry Pis at a reasonable price? I've got 5 that I'm sitting on here, and I'm not selling them to anyone. I'm keeping them in case someone has an emergency and we need to swap it out. But holy cow, getting your hands on Raspberry Pis these days is like getting your hands on allocated bourbon. Prav, please shoot me an email so that I don't forget to put that on the written list of videos. Cody. So Cody and I were talking yesterday via Twitter, the Twitter machine, because he's too cool to get signal and send me a chat with me on Signal. Cody's too cool for that. I'm just messing with you, Cody, but I really wish you would take me up on my Signal offer, because I've got 50 different ways I talk to people, and I'm getting more and more people to use Signal, so it's just easier to keep people on Signal. But there's some things in the Ubiquiti EA store that we can't talk about that we're actually both really kind of excited about. They are a little pricier than you would find them on the market. Cody, I selected the box to tell me when they were in stock, and I never got the damn email. That pisses me off. Now I'm going to have to go, and I'm going to have to stock the store. All right. So Tim says Micro Center has them for $34.99. I am not near a Micro Center. I understand they can ship, but good morning, Sean. Sean Woods and I need to hook up this week and get back in touch. And hope you're doing well, Sean. Sean's an amazing tech, and he does great work. Understands how to test equipment properly, and I'm trying to onboard him onto the team as a consultant. Sean, I'm waiting for you. All right. Yeah. Cody, you can email me or you can send me that on Twitter. Bruce says, have you ever done a video of Ubiquiti Unify, differences between their use of terms, reserved, fixed IP, and static IP? Yeah, I should do that. Let's see. Good morning, Robert. Roger says, have you covered the FBI changing WatchGuard? No, I have not. I do know that we work with police departments that are running WatchGuard for video networks, and I know that we've got to get the firmware updated. It may have been updated already, but no, I do not use Chris's inventory check system. I do not use that system. All right, so it is that time of the show. I know that everybody wants to see. So I found the most useful tool on the internet, and we'll have a discussion about whether this is actually the most. Where the heck is my mouse? There it is. All right, whether or not this is actually the most useful tool on the internet, I believe that this is the most useful tool on the internet. TN Bighorn, I should start screaming like Sam Kinison. I'll rewrite a song and you ruined my life. But all right, so as you can see, the title of this is Grand Stream Access Point Winner, and I kept meaning to get to this. So this on this wheel that you see over here is everyone who got the correct information to the question to get entered to win the Grand Stream GWN 7630 access point. I haven't had enough coffee this morning. And it is a bunch of regulars. And so what we're going to do is, this is the fairest way that I could come up with to spin the, randomly select a name. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to click this spin button. Everybody's going to wait with bated breath, and we are going to find out who the winner is. Now, if you're outside of the United States, now Canada and Mexico may be an exception. I got to see how much shipping is. By the way, we should all be thanking Dale for this. If Dale, if you're watching, please reach back out so we can work on our, I want to work on a little bit more on that Libre NMS, so we can get that nailed down. But if you're not in the United States, if you're not in North America, I'll have to PayPal you some dollars or Venmo you some dollars, because shipping is just outrageous. Shipping will cost more than the access point. If you're in North America, but you're not in the United States, then we'll talk about that, because I have started using Pirate Ship, and the prices are a little bit, cheaper. So let's do it. Let's spin the wheel. And the winner of the Grand Stream Access Point is Brian Murray. And I will show you on this that the weighted was not turned on. This was completely fair. It was shuffled. So Brian Murray, please reach out to me. And you have until the end of this next coming week. So you have until midnight on April 30th to reach out, get me your shipping address, and I will get this access point sent out to you ASAP. Once again, that is Brian Murray. Sean Woods says, what's up with Libre NMS? Well, Libre NMS, if you haven't watched my videos on it, is awesome. Libre NMS is absolutely awesome. And what we're doing, Sean, is we're doing a distributed installation where we're going to have a core server sitting out, and the server's already set up. I just got to get HTTPS enabled. So right now, the web interface is locked down to my IP. It's locked down to Dale's IP. So I've got to get HTTPS on. And then we're doing distributed pollers with Ubuntu machines out at remote locations. Dale does, his specialty is MDUs, and he uses the same network layout. He's got kind of a cookie cutter that he does, so same equipment, same IP schemes and all that. And sometimes network management tools can't handle that. Well, Libre NMS can handle that. And so we are doing a distributed Libre NMS installation. The first distributed pollers are my house office, his house office, and then we're going to scale it. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty large installation. All right. Yes. Congratulations, Brian Murray. Brian's usually here. Was Brian here? I can't remember if I said congratulations to Brian, but stick around because the next live stream after this, we're going to give away more equipment. And to get your name on the wheel, there will be a question during the live stream, and you'll have to answer after the live stream in the comments. And then if you get the answer correct, that gets your name on the wheel. But this website, this pickerwheel.com, this is absolutely awesome. This is how I'm going to start making all my important life decisions. I'll put a yes, no, a maybe on there, and I'll just spin the wheel and let this thing do it. All right, back over to the comments. JH says, I've tried Libre, but I got lazy and just went to Network Olympus. It has a wizard. I haven't used Network Olympus. I'm going to write that one down. Network Olympus. I always love trying new software, but the problem is time. Network Olympus. Got it down. Aruba Airwave. So what's that other, JH, what's that other Aruba product? And it can manage any manufacturer's access points. And it has a captive portal, and it does 802.1x and NAC. What the heck is the name of that? It's expensive, but you can manage every vendor's APs and do the captive portal. I cannot remember what the name. Well, there's another name. Aruba. Did it used to be called Airwave? I cannot remember what it is. ClearPass. That's it. ClearPass is a crazy. It's got a huge upfront license cost, like 6 figures. But it is a fantastic piece of software. All right. David Anderson says, what code editor would you all recommend? Well, would you believe it if I told you, and I'm not sure what is in. Okay. So I use Notepad++. Whenever I do any scripting, whenever I do any kind of programming, things like that, I use Notepad++. And there you can see right there, Air Control Enterprise. That is the password for the Java Key Store for Unified. Been doing a lot of Java Key Store installations this week. So, good morning, Tom. Tom's in the house. Yeah, it's going to be my new Magic 8-Ball. Oh, yes. T and Bighorn says, maybe you could put some questions on there that us OGs would know. LOL. Yeah, we will. And, you know, maybe we'll do some like networking questions or whatever, but, you know, and maybe you'll have to watch the James and Willie Bits and Bourbon podcast. It should start this week. I keep saying that. So All right, back over to the comments. Gordon says Visual Studio Code. Yeah. Oh, JH says, like, questions from your videos where you didn't talk. That would be OG. That's what, like 2015, 2016? That would be OG. That would be JH, maybe. JH and T and Bighorn and Sean Woods may be the only ones that get those questions. So Sean says, my 3 NMS of choice is Observium and Libra NMS, which are kindred spirits, and PRTG. Yeah, so that's all good stuff. Sean, maybe you want to do a video for the channel, and we could do comparison side by side, you know, the famous spreadsheets that everybody does. We could do that. All right. Prav says Atom for the Mac is pretty sweet. Yeah, I like Atom. I do like Atom, ATOM. Brent Haven says you could use the picker wheel to decide if you're going to mow the lawn or tear down the chicken coop. Well, my plan is to let my mom's boyfriend tear the chicken coop down while I mow, and then I'll help him carry it to his truck. He's trying to preserve as much of it as he can, but the guy who built it did a really great job. So this chicken coop is built on like a 10 by 10 platform that is like super. You could use it as a damn dance floor. Unfortunately, the critters, because we back up to the woods, we back up to 54 acres of land, which I'm going to try when it gets warm to walk over to the neighbors. I just want to buy 2 more acres. I want a pond, some bees, and I want to buy a shed and build a little cabin so we can literally just trek across the stream and just get away from everything. There'll be no Wi-Fi. There'll be nothing. There'll be a fire pit, and we'll have to take a cooler with us, but it won't be so far from home that if we have an emergency or something that we can't come right back to the house. That is my first world problem dream. All right, let's see here. But I could do that. That would be interesting. You know what? Here, watch this. This is what I'm going to do. Brent and I are meeting, I think, Monday night. I'm doing some Grand Stream one-on-one training with Brent. Brent is also, he's a friend and a customer, and you're going to see a phone system that has several sites, and he has allowed me to do a video on this. So you're going to see this, how Grand Stream scales and stuff like that. But I'm going to remove all of the inputs, and I'm going to say, I'm going to create a wheel real quick while you're all watching. And let's see here. It would help if I could spell. Without spell check, y'all would think that I was in bad shape. The really cool thing about this picker wheel is that you can we got to have one more. I got to even it out. Here we go. All right, y'all just decided my day for me. Here we go. And the winner of what I'm going to do after the live stream is... Oh! I'm just kidding. I'm going to go grocery shopping and then mow, and then I'm going to have... I am going to have a little bit of bourbon tonight. I'm really digging Chattanooga 91 right now. Back over to the comments. Sean says, OG quiz question. What communication software did Willie use for conveying his message? Yeah, which one was that, Sean? We've changed a lot over the years. Jade says, I've learned you can over-monitor a network and the real issues get lost in the logs. Yeah, so it depends what you're monitoring, right? Are you monitoring latency? Are you monitoring flapping interfaces? Are you monitoring on a down statement? You know, so like if you were like, okay, quick, you've got 5 seconds to decide what you're going to monitor. Down interfaces, spanning tree in a switched environment. That would be 2 right there. The other thing is I'm gonna log admin logins. I want to be alerted when people with admin credentials when they log in. Those are my top 3 at the moment. So yeah, on Mac it used to be Text Wrangler, but now it's not Text Wrangler anymore, but it was the replacement. So if you all are not going to Wispapalooza in October, you should check it out. WISPA is obviously a lobbying organization, but they also, it's a, Wireless Internet Service Providers of America, and they do a lot of good dealing with the FCC and things like that. If you're not going out there, you should think about it. It's at the Paris in October. Going to be a good time. All right, so we talked about making mistakes. We talked about Putty. We talked about Vegas. We did the giveaway. Two more things real quick. Yes, I do use the syslog. I do use the syslog service on Synology. It's fantastic. If you have a Synology, you have a fully available syslog server. You can do alerting and things like that. We also use Kiwi syslog server, because you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with Kiwi syslog server when you match conditions on a log. T and Bighorn says, OG question, how many disks did Office 3.1 come on in 3.5? I don't know, but you're going to tease that, and believe it or not, I have a tub that has Windows for Workgroups 3.11. I have the MS-DOS 6.2 disks, so y'all are joking. But, yeah, so a lot of people are starting to book their flights and their hotels for October. The last I looked, the conference tickets were not available yet. But as soon as the conference tickets are available, I will be getting my conference tickets. I actually asked Grandstream if, since they wanted me to kind of hang out in the booth, if they wanted to pick up my tickets. We'll see what they say. And in preparation for travel this year, because that is not the only place for traveling, so I have a Molly bag, not that kind of Molly, but like, one that you can put, that's got Velcro all over it. I'm super excited about this. This is my smaller everyday carry bag that I ordered that showed up yesterday. One day shipping from Amazon. You can see it's got all the Velcro on here, so I can Velcro all of my things on there. I'm getting some Willie Howe patches made, so those will be coming. So I'll have a Willie Howe patch and all the patches that I collect. But then inside it's got all these pouches, and it's got all this elastic so you can put stuff in here. It's got this that opens up. I can put IDs and stuff in there. I'm going to CornCon. I'm going, the wife and I are going to do some day trips. And so I just needed something that I can carry a lot of everyday stuff in here. I can put my whatever in here, whatever it is that you carry every day to protect yourself could go in there. I'm not going to get into the virtues of that on a live stream. But it's got all kinds of pockets, all kinds of elastic. Then the really cool thing is it will actually, let me show you my my backpack that I carry, my laptop, my notebook, the Remarkable Land. This is the bag that I use for that. It's a tactical bag. And so this is actually made to strap directly onto this. So when we get on an airplane, this is all my carry-on. So I know, it's like the simple things, right? Like being able to be, have one nice, small, everyday carry bag. And once I get this filled out, I'll do a video on it, but I'm going to be working on that over the next week or so. And of course, there will be Amazon affiliate links to that. And I just pushed a whole bunch of stuff over. The other thing is, I don't know if Justin is on the live stream. And if he is, not Justin Kinsey, Justin Farley. Him and I made a trade. I traded him some equipment I wasn't using, and he traded me some equipment he wasn't using. Let me show you what we traded. And you're going to go, man, you got a raw deal. But I am telling you, we are adding so many vendors to our voice portfolio that we support. Now, obviously, Grandstream is number one, but Grandstream doesn't have all the installs, right? So obviously, we support free PBX. James is a free PBX wizard, and James might be listening while he's grocery shopping right now. But James is a free PBX wizard. He's also a Grandstream wizard. He is also a FreeSwitch wizard, and I use FreeSwitch and all this, but we need to understand all the different things. So yes, we're going to support Unify Talk in certain situations. I know, don't blow the comments up because of that. But believe it or not, Fortinet makes phone systems, and there's a lot of them out there. They also make switches, which I saw a question. Sean says, let's Grandstream know I'm waiting on those new routers and switches. So I have the new router here. You should go out and keep a tabs on the FCC filings. They've got new phones coming out. They've hit the FCC. But switches are supposed to be here in Q4. Good morning, admin engineer. I'll show you these here in just a second. I want to go back to the comments. Sean says, I was told yesterday at a mall we have a store that the only available DSL. Yeah, DSL is horrible these days compared. That's all you can get, you know. How do you create an administrator for Windows 10 Home after it's already set up, apparently, without an administrator account? So that's a great question. That's something that I'd have to take a look at. I only run Windows Pro, and when I activate it, I don't connect to the internet because I refuse at this point to join it to a Microsoft account. So that's how I take it. That's how I do that. Tom says, OG PC anywhere on the dial took 20 minutes for the screen background to load. Bob says, that's quite the bourbon holder. Yes. I actually have 2-ounce, what we call handshakes. So you can trade bourbons that you may not have. You know, you do a trade with people. And let's see here. Hey, Woody, if I'm not mistaken, you've got to drop the command prompt. Yeah, we'd have to look at that. JH says, I ended up putting in 40 phones at a site because my MSP wouldn't support anything else. Well, that sucks. They only support Cisco. Cisco phone systems are overpriced and overcomplicated. You can do anything with most other systems that you can do with a Cisco and do it a lot cheaper. So people who get locked into the Cisco stuff, it's horrible. It's horrible to get locked into this mindset that I have to use Cisco for everything. FedEx beat the shnikes out of this box. They also delivered on Easter, which... All right, so according to Justin, the handsets are actually name the manufacturer. They are rebranded. You've seen them here on the channel before. I've got 2 of them. I bought some. I can't... somebody will say it in the comments, but they're rebranded. They don't make the handsets, but they do have a custom firmware for these. They're actually not bad-looking phones. But then, what is this? So here's a FortiGate 50E. This thing looks damn near brand new. And so he traded me the FortiGate 50E as well as 2 handsets. James is getting one of these handsets. But then the phone system's actually, I promise, it's in this box somewhere. Yeah, here it is right here. So this is the actual system, and I don't know anything about it yet. I'll have to factory default it, but this is the FortiVoice Enterprise 100E. It's got a console on the front, 2 USBs, 4 gigabit ports there. It's a 19-volt DC. But I am going to fire it up, figure out what it's based on. You know, is it an Asterisk-based system? Did they just take free PBX and rebrand it? This thing is heavy. Is it based on FreeSwitch? I don't know. I haven't. But when he offered it, I was like, heck yeah, we'll definitely add this to the portfolio. So James is going to get one of these handsets. And I'll have one here. No, it's not Yealink. It's, I thought I had one sitting on the shelf. Hold on a second. I really don't want to get away from pickerwheel.com, but, let's see here. Fanville. They are Fanville phones with custom firmware is what Justin said. Now, I don't know if that's it or not. But I'll tell you what, I want to thank you all for spending some time with me here today. If you need to reach out, you need consulting, you're just wanting to ping somebody, reach out. Fanville, that's it. James. Nope, not Sangoma. They're Fanville. But yeah, if you need anything, let me know. Thanks for spending some time with me. I got to go do the groceries, do the chores, do all that good stuff. I'm Willie. I want to thank you for being here. We're not just naming every handset, but I will tell you, I am going to have a handset wall, and I'm going to be very proud of it. I'm Willie. I want to thank you for being here. And as always, I'll see you in the next video, the next live stream. Have a fantastic weekend.